Hello and welcome back to Sidekick Gaming. I'm your host Jay,
And I'm your sidekick,
and today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of interesting stories, starting with PS4 communities getting taken down. This comes straight from DualShockers by Kyle Knight, and he says, "It looks like Sony has officially announced the PS4 communities feature is being removed. If you still make good of use of your PS4, you might be disappointed to hear the news of the discontinuation of the popular social feature. We've got everything you need to know about the removal of communities, including the dates and features removal from the console. Users of the PS4 communities have begun receiving emails notifying them of the feature being removed in the next update, and players aren't happy about it. It comes as no surprise that Sony has begun shutting down certain aspects of the PS4 after a hugely successful launch of their new PS5 in November of 2020. Yeah. So, what do you think about this?
Personally, I've never used PS4 communities ever. Like, I've never joined one before. I always see them underneath the games I play, and they, for the most part, look really active, which is why it's kind of a shock they're deciding to get rid of it. I mean, I know it's time to push the PS5 and all, but usually they don't start killing consoles, well, the last console, until, a bit more into the new console's lifespan.
Yeah.
But for them to just it's a used feature. Like, I see a lot of people in those groups, and they have discords and stuff, and they communicate, and it's kind of lame that they're taking them out like that, but they must have some reason for doing it. Maybe they're not as used as they look.
I think for me, I never really used them a ton, but I always thought that it had a lot of promise as a feature. I was a big fan of Miiverse, even though I didn't have a Wii U. The 3DS eventually got an update that put the Miiverse on there, and I use it sometimes. I think Miiverse is probably one of the coolest ideas because modern gaming is kind of going in this way where they want their consoles to be a end-all be-all entertainment system where you can play games, watch movies, watch TV shows, and talk to people and interact with one another. And social media is becoming a big thing, so I figured a long time ago when Miiverse got really popular that more like Microsoft and Sony would try to get in on making their own social media type thing. And I think communities was supposed to be a step in that direction. But I don't know, maybe they didn't get as much use as they thought they would, or maybe, which I think may be more likely, is that they're going to be replacing it on the PS5 with a new, maybe better feature, a new version of that.
PlayStation Home 2.0, you mean?
That'd be cool. I recently watched a video by GameSpot where they talked about people that really made, like I've actually watched quite a few videos on PlayStation Home, and like PlayStation Home was like a super duper beloved game that a shocking amount of people actually still want to come back. And there's people that have been trying to restore the original files and code for it, and trying to preserve it on and create servers themselves to preserve it on the PS3. And some people are straight up trying to make their own version of it. And unfortunately, it had like a really bad development cycle and stuff like that. It never really became super profitable. But maybe they'll maybe they'll do PlayStation Home 2 or something.
Yeah, PlayStation Home was pretty fun. I especially liked it when they decided to like do little crossover events. Like, I'm pretty sure I watched like one of the E3s on there, because I think they streamed it in there once. Yeah. It was just kind of cool, like booting up your PS3, hopping in there, just chilling, walking around, see somebody else. What up?
Yeah, it's kind of you mentioned streaming E3. Now I think about it, it's a weird thing to compare it to, but it's kind of like the predecessor to what Fortnite seems to be becoming, where it's this really more than just playing a game mode. It's like if you go into creative mode, you can just walk around and hang out with your friends, and they do the streams like the Travis Scott concert, and they did another concert recently while we were playing. I forgot who the guy was, but it was some Rocket League artist. And yeah, PlayStation Home, maybe they'll do another one. It could be cool. It's a shame that they just throw away a feature like that, but the way modern Sony has been, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have a replacement.
It'd be sick, honestly, bro. Like, if the new PlayStation Home came out and it was anything like, have you ever played Mabanogi?
No.
Bro, Mabanogi was a really strange MMO where they kind of just let you do anything. And when I say anything, I mean you could even turn into a horse and let people just use you as a mount, bro. Like, the game had a story that was like you had to go looking for it. Basically, they didn't point you in that direction at all. And I always got on that game with my friends, and I'd be like, man, I have way too much freedom in here, but this is a great place to hang out. And I feel like that's what PlayStation Home 2, if they actually are trying to make that, I feel like that's what it could be. Because just hanging out and chilling with your friends on like an online game is actually pretty fun, man. Like, it doesn't always have to be about shooting or being the kill leader. Sometimes you just want to drive around in GTA 5 with your friends and chill.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just about to say. Like, GTA was that game for me where like sometimes I didn't always want to go into a deathmatch. Because early GTA, like deathmatch was like a lot of what people did, and I didn't always want to do that or grind missions and stuff. Sometimes I just wanted to walk around or drive and just hang out, play some tennis. Like I used to play tennis a lot in GTA 5. Just hang out, walk around, buy some clothes, drive, talk, hang out at the beach. Like I think that's something that we don't really. I mean, GTA 5 is still going. Like it's insane, it's still going on, but I don't think that's a game or a type of game that we really have right now. It's just something to hang out with your friends and just chill with. Like
Sims, but multiplayer.
Yeah. Like Genshin Impact has that lofty goal of being a online world that they want 3 million people to be in, which I honestly think is impossible. But shoot for the sky, I guess. Maybe Genshin Impact will be that game one day where we have cool houses and just hang out.
Maybe.
Our next story, though, is speaking of GTA. Actually, our next story is from The Verge, and it's talking about a fan-made GTA Online slow load times actually being added to the game, or a fix to the slow load times. GTA Online fan that goes by the moniker Toast with a 0 posted an investigation into the game's infamously slow load times on PC, with a solution that improved things by up to 70%. And it seems that Rockstar was paying attention. The company has confirmed that to PC Gamer that Toast fix is legitimate and will be implementing their suggestions in a future update to the game. After a thorough investigation, we can confirm that player Toast did in fact reveal an aspect of the game code related to load times for the PC version of GTA Online that could be improved. The company commented to PC Gamer, as a result of these investigations, we have made some changes and will be implementing them in a forthcoming update. In an update to the original post, Toast has confirmed that Rockstar has awarded them $10,000 through the company's bug bounty program for discovering the issue, in spite of the fact that this bounty program typically focuses on security vulnerabilities. Pretty cool, man. You don't see that very often. You don't see game devs, especially like AAA game devs, admitting that somebody else fixed like something that they did. The only thing that I can think of is like Skyrim, because when they ported Skyrim to like PS4, there was some big patch that a PC player made that fixed a lot of load times and textures and stuff, and they're like, yeah, that's pretty sick, let's put that in the game.
Yeah, when somebody basically does the team that you're hiring and paying a salary and some guy just does their job, you kind of have to just, pay him, bro. Like, literally did their team's work for them. And, like, everybody knew about it, too. So, I mean, they might as well just slide him some money and put that on there so everybody else can play that game without waiting 30 minutes for the city to load.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's PC exclusive, so we're not getting that on PS4 and Xbox One. But we are getting the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions of the game, so maybe those will have something similar and will improve the load times and stuff. Playing that game on the PS5 is it's crazy, man. That game usually runs like garbage on PS4, and like you can't walk more than 5 miles without experiencing some sort of stutter, but on PS5 it's super smooth.
Good. Now maybe they can improve the content and make it more fun to play.
Yeah, maybe. We can always hope. Our next story comes straight from PlayStation though, and they bought Evo. I don't really think I need to even read this. Like, they bought Evo, the fighting game tournament, the like biggest fighting game tournament in the world. That's crazy.
Despair.
Why despair?
Man, Sony's just been a little. I love that company and all. I grew up playing their stuff, but something about them buying evil of all things with their current state and politics, I just don't know if that's going to be all that great for the community at all, really. But I mean, yeah, no, please God, no.
I see what you mean, but I mean, Evo's already esports. Like they're already.
Look, man, we need to defy esports, not give into it.
That's what the locals are for, man.
No, bro, we need to bring back not turning our video games into a competitive mess, bro.
I mean, I agree. I think, I don't know, man. We talked about this the other day off the air, and we were talking about how fighting games have kind of, while it's still fun to watch competitive fighting games, it's not nearly as fun as it used to be. Because, I mean, the old school, like early 2000s and like the 90s, FGC was amazing, man. Like, maybe a little toxic, definitely pretty toxic, but it was so entertaining, and most people, at the end of the day, settled their squabbles like in the ring, like in the game. They'd have beef with one another, they'd throw down in the game, and whoever won, that was it. Like Low Tier God, I cannot remember the player's name, but Low Tier God, who's like this notorious douchebag online and YouTuber and streamer, he had some issues with a top player for Street Fighter, and they argued back and forth, and the Street Fighter player didn't want to pay him any mind, but Low Tier God was like, nah, you want to talk all that crap, like, let's play. They played, and Low Tier God lost, and they shook hands, and that was it.
No. Low Tier God was mad. I saw those clips, bro.
Oh,
that dude was humiliating him on the mic. It was like wrestling, except it's not fake.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that is true. But
he had to hold that L, but I do get what you're saying.
Yeah, when it was all said and done, like he still talked crap afterward, because that's just who low tier God is. But that's maybe not a good example. The overwhelming majority of people that weren't Low Tier God, typically, when their beef was squashed, that was it.
Yeah, but now in comparison, you just have all of what's wrong with right now just leaking in all at once, man. Just identity politics, all this Twitter nonsense and stuff, bro. Like it's not like the old days, man.
Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate that no matter where
can't be yourself anymore once esports comes into play.
Well, I was gonna say, like, no one can just like leave it to the game anymore. Like, there's always got to be some other thing that you have to tack onto it with, not just esports, but I mean in gaming in general. Like,
no, in the world in general, man.
Yeah. But let's keep it to the games. Like, there's always got to be some sort of and I'm not really even against having like a political message in gaming. Like, I don't even really have a problem with that, because I love Metal Gear, and like the entire Metal Gear series is just this anti-war piece. But I just think it's the way you do things that is important. And sometimes it can feel a little ham-fisted and come across as if you don't agree, then you're the bad guy or something like that. But anyway, this is a tangent. The original point was Sony bought Evo, and in terms of how the actual tournaments are going to be run, I think it'll be the same. The only thing that's in question is whether or not Super Smash Brothers will come back. And as of now, they're saying that they're going to work, as Nintendo said, they're going to work with Sony, and they're going to most likely keep having the tournaments there. But who knows? Nintendo is very weird. Very, very weird when it comes to everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow they said, nah, no more Evo for Smash Ultimate. And once
Sony says no to their 50%.
Yeah, you mean 70% or whatever the absurd amount of money they're gonna ask for.
Put
Yeah.
those Smash fans in the bathroom just like the Melty players. Run a tournament out of there.
Yeah. But our next story is another sad story. Sony is shutting down all the online stores for their legacy consoles. So for PSP, PlayStation Vita, and PlayStation 3. And man, it's so sad. Because, well, I guess it's not that sad if you really don't care about pirating stuff. But if you like buying and owning your own like copies of games and stuff like that, like you're missing a lot of games, especially the Vita. The Vita had so many games that were only on there, and I think some of them were ported to the PC. But for the most part, like a lot of those games, like Freedom Wars, like you're not gonna be able to buy Freedom Wars anymore. It's unfortunate, and there's a lot of old classic JRPGs that are just gonna be lost because they're not in print anymore. Like a lot of old Shin Megami Tensei games and other stuff that were like that you could buy cheap on PlayStation 3. But now, if you want to get them, you're gonna have to pirate it or just buy it like off some random seller on eBay for like $90 or something.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
None worse than a scalper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a tragedy, honestly, man. Like, growing up with that PS3, finally got that Vita. Had a PSP, but I accidentally broke it. We won't talk about that, though. It's weird, man. Like, seeing the store close all knows is just like, I mean, everybody kind of felt it, but it's just kind of like the confirmation that they're gone, bro. Like,
Felt it? I didn't see that coming at all.
really? I did.
I didn't think that we were gonna be losing. Maybe the PSP, but the PS3. I didn't think that would be happening anytime soon.
Man, that's really surprising, man. We're like up to the 5. It was definitely gonna happen.
That's true, but man, I don't know.
I feel bad
figured-
for anybody that didn't get a PS4 or something. It was just sticking to the 3.
Yeah, I didn't think it would happen until like Sony created some sort of a replacement. And I mean, I guess they kind of do with PlayStation Now, but that doesn't really count for all those PlayStation 1 and 2 games. I figured they'd create some sort of a virtual console, but I mean, it seems they don't really have much interest in that. The president of PlayStation said that no one has interest in buying old games, and his example for that was when they had some event and they had a bunch of remasters and old games, and then they also had all these brand new games like Ratchet and Clank, and everybody was crowding Ratchet and Clank. Like, no shit, everyone wants to play the brand new game that they haven't already played. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, that guy's silly. That's not even like, that's kind of peak not smart, but
Yeah. It's yeah, I'm gonna miss it. It makes me want to go on the store. I haven't like touched my PS3 in years, but
I have mine in a box by my TV stand.
yeah, it makes me want to go on there and just buy a bunch of stuff so that I can just in case I ever want to play it. But it might be kind of a waste of money. I don't know. It sucks, man.
Maybe they'll bring over some of those games to the new stores. That would be cool.
Maybe, but they're also shutting down the web version too. So even if you wanted to, maybe you didn't own like a PS3 or something, but you wanted to go on the website and like add it to your cart and buy it. That's how I bought like avatars, because the PlayStation 5 you can't buy avatars anymore. Yeah, you can't buy avatars or themes anymore, which because PlayStation 5 doesn't have themes anymore. I think they said
I am going to miss themes, man.
Yeah, me too. I think they said that they're gonna bring them back in a later update, or maybe that was just speculation. But yeah, it's weird. It really is weird. Like, I find myself sometimes I'll just leave my PlayStation on while I'm doing something, and I'll find like just sitting there on this blank screen. First off, like I don't want my TV to get like burned in, so that worries me a little bit when there's nothing moving. It's just a still image. So I'll just turn on Netflix and put on like a nature documentary or something just to have something moving on my TV so that I don't feel so weird. It's weird. I really.
That sounds like the struggle right there.
Yeah. It's really weird to not have something playing or moving around on the screen. Themes were such a great idea, and they made so much money off of it. And avatars too. Like, there's a ridiculous amount of avatars added to the PlayStation Store every single day. Like, it's absurd. Dabbing cat avatars, like whatever like ridiculous thing you can think of, it's there.
So can you not change your avatar from the PS5?
You can, but I think they may be going in the route of the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch, every blue moon they put out an update where they add some new avatars, and you can just they're free and you can just add them. And I've noticed every once in a while they add some new avatars. So maybe they're just having iconic PlayStation characters that they'll add every couple of months for you to change your avatar. But that is so lame, super lame. And you're missing. I mean, there's so many old avatars that are great that you can't even get anymore from like old games like Freedom Wars.
Yeah, man, my PSN wouldn't be my PSN without my Disgaea drip icons.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine, like, dude, if you didn't have that, you'd be using like some PS5 like Ratchet or something. Which,
yeah, I remember the old days before I bought those things, bro. Like, it just wasn't the same.
PlayStation's original icons were so bad. Like, not only were they a lot of just random characters, but they're also just poorly, like, there are these awful JPEGs that are kind of pixelated and stuff. Like, they look so bad.
Yeah.
Like, there's that Altair one that like every like edgy kid used.
Yeah.
They use the Altair or I think that's Ratchet Deadlock.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Every Call of Duty kid out there used one of those. And then they had like this horrible, I love Uncharted so much, but old, horrible picture of Nathan Drake. It looks so bad. I don't know.
I think I remember that one too.
Yeah, it's from Uncharted 1. Like, it looks so weird. I don't know. The Avatar thing, it's unfortunate. What were we talking about?
Who knows? On the next story.
Yeah. The next story is a bit of a funny one. So for the past couple of weeks, there have been rumors that Microsoft was that Discord was in the looks to be bought out by another company. And Microsoft was one of the prime targets. And this article comes from Yahoo Finance by Daniel Howley. And it says, Microsoft is considering dropping a cool $10 billion on video games chat app Discord, according to recent reports. If the software giant does take the plunge, it could help Microsoft's Xbox brand finally overtake arch nemesis Sony in its decade-long fight for gaming supremacy, which, that's a funny statement. I guess I'll get back to that. With Discord, Microsoft would instantly access insights about the kinds of games people play, not just on its own platforms, but on Sony's and Nintendo's, as well as on mobile devices. That knowledge could help Microsoft develop games that appeal more to those people, something it's been laser focused on for years. After all, exclusive games that appeal to the masses will lure more players to Xbox over Sony's console. That's
another tragedy that's unfolding.
Well, today is April 2nd, and on April 1st, Discord put out a tweet saying that they're officially announcing their partnership with Microsoft that is going to be starting on April 15th, which, April Fool's, right? Could be, or it could be just a fake out. And maybe they will be starting something on April 15th. We'll have to wait and see.
If it's real, then RIP Discord, man. Believe me when I say Microsoft ruins everything they touch. I used Skype before Microsoft bought it, man. It was so good. It was so comfy. And now look at it. It's just this almost malware that's just always on your computer. Always trying to start up. Always asking you if you have an account. It's a shell of what it used to be.
Yeah.
Just like Google ruined YouTube.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say. Microsoft buying Discord inherently doesn't really. If Discord stays being the way it is, whatever. But if they start incorporating stuff into it, like, get your Game Pass through Discord, I guess it would be cool for Xbox players if they could use Discord on their Xbox. and talk to each other, but they already have an in-game chat feature and stuff like that. So I don't know. It could benefit Xbox players a lot, but in terms of information about players and games they're interested, I mean, Xbox and Sony and Nintendo already do they already put out plenty of feelers and surveys and stuff like that to find out what people's interests are. I mean, everybody knows what is the most popular games right now. I don't think they really need Discord of all things to do that. If anything, like obtaining Discord and looking at information from there will just show you a bunch of child predators in Minecraft servers. I don't think they really need that, but anything to help them get ahead, I guess.
Man, that kind of reminds me of the old days back when what is it called again? The Xbox Eye or something like that?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it reminds me how everyone was joking about how the government was going to spy on them through that thing.
Oh, you mean the Kinect?
Yeah, the Kinect. There it is.
Yeah.
Everybody was joking about that back in the day, man. I was like, is that real?
Yeah, did you ever see the video of what it looks like when you turn the lights off?
No.
Yeah, if you turn off the lights and you turn on the Kinect and you use, I believe if you use like an infrared camera, there are green beams shooting from the Kinect all over the room. Like, it's kind of crazy to see. It looks like some sort of sci-fi gun or something. Like, there's just, that thing can see damn near everything in the room. But yeah,
catch you slipping. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, really. It's honestly funny that it sees so much, but how inaccurate. You probably haven't played with
God,
it.
no. I heard from people that played what was it, Ultimate Tenkaichi on that thing?
Yeah.
They said it was terrible. That thing cannot track their movements at all.
Yeah, the Kinect was, dude, that phase of gaming was just so.
What, the pop a camera on your console thing?
Yeah, the motion thing.
Yeah,
like,
that was terrible.
I absolutely hate, like, when we get a new phase of gaming where they try to do something other than play a game with a controller.
And they force it down your throat.
Yeah, the only one that didn't do that was, like, PlayStation. They're, like, the only ones that didn't, like, ham-fisted. And it's funny because they're the only ones that are, well, Nintendo obviously still is. But, in a different way, but yeah, they're still doing it. And the only one that's still using their old Move software, their old Move hardware is PlayStation. They're still using that stuff for their VR stuff. And, I don't know.
Reminds me of Sonic Free Riders, man.
Yeah.
I never played that game, but I heard the horror stories, and I will always blame Microsoft for that game series never completing. Another thing they ruined.
I played that. I played the demo, and yeah, it was very bad. Kinect was such a cool idea and concept, but it did not work out very well.
Yeah, but the Xbox was a cool idea and concept too.
Hey, man. The Xbox is still going strong and good. Just not, as cool as the PlayStation.
It never will be. Anyway, it's about time for that part of the show where we give a recommendation on a game. Yes. It's my turn this week. So I'm going to recommend Friday Night Funkin'. It's a fun little game, kind of in the vein. It'll put you in the mindset of Parappa. I mean, I never played Parappa, but I know what it's about. Mm-hmm. And basically, the game kind of has a plot. The plot is you're trying to date a girl, but for some strange reason, everyone's trying to stop you. And it makes sense at first because it's her dad, and bro. Girls' dads want to protect their little girl. Mm-hmm. But then it gets weird, and you start fighting all types of weird stuff, like weird kids in Halloween costumes, a lemon demon, some monster trapped inside of an old Japanese video game about dating girls. It gets really crazy. But on the gameplay side, it's really fun. The songs are a real bop. The controls, dear God, man. That is a rhythm game that'll really test you. And only real problem about it is that I've heard from a lot of different people that it has some slight lag on it, on eating your inputs from when, because from what I've heard, the game was made as like part of a game jam. You know what those are, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he basically put it together really fast. So some of the songs, which are really fast on normal and hard mode, are a little unresponsive on the control side, but it still manages to be really fun. I congratulate anybody that can play MILF. Honestly, when that beat drops, those notes come flying, and I don't know how anyone actually does that without a bot. It is quite a sight to behold, though, when someone does it. But yeah, that's my recommendation. Friday Night Funkin'.
What would you rate it out of 10?
Well, I don't often play rhythm games, so I give it like a 7 or an 8, just because the controls, it's pretty important to be able to accurately put in notes on a rhythm game, and for it to have a problem like that, it's a little concerning, but everything else is good. Good art style, good references if you ever used Newgrounds back in the day, and good music. That's really all that matters in a rhythm game to me, good music.
All right, cool. Everybody check out Friday Night Funkin'. That was our last story, and that's our game review, so we will see you guys next time.